Good morning. Hurricane H here. Welcome to the iHealth channel and listening also on the iHealth radio. Hurricane H again one more time. Today's a quote talk show, and the topic today is a very simple saying, which basically states the following: speak good or a good word, or remain silent. And the question basically remains, why did I pick the actual saying, this particular one? And well, I was kind of like thinking about what would be the next show today, and it's not totally related to the health piece, but it's related to communication and how we talk these days to each other. And I've also noticed a few things on the social media, not so much directly impacting me personally, but just seeing things now that I'm involved in the broadcasting thing. From YouTube to Facebook to Instagram and all these type of social media forums or venues, I see a lot of tension sometimes, and also a lot of debates, a lot of kind of arguments that happen online. I'm not sure even if that's the correct word or the proper way to describe it, but I see that there's a lot of comments that don't make sense sometimes, that some people would actually put in a Facebook page, or on a YouTube channel, or someone goes live and then someone comments to them on a live feed with a negative attribute or some sort of a profanity or any of that. And so today I just wanted to actually use the time to talk about it, and just give a humble opinion, and it's just my opinion ultimately. But really, I always try to keep positive, and I've always, those that know me, those I've heard some of my shows before or listened to them, or that just, interacted with me personally. I love positivity, and I love, the fact that people have to be positive, say something positive, always remain positive. And sometimes, when I see people getting reaction, or reacting rather, to some of the comments, or reacting to some of the confrontations that they get online, not so much in person, because obviously we as humans, we tend to be a lot braver when we're not facing somebody, and also we're afraid of the ramifications in terms of the law, of the land, whatever we might be. So obviously on a keyboard it's a little easier. If I don't have to see someone, it's easier. It's like on the phone, you can hang up on the phone if somebody is on the other line, but it's harder to actually hang up with them when you're live. So the topic just came because I've noticed literally in the last 3-4 months, watching into different groups or listening to some live feeds and on YouTube. Not only it didn't happen to me personally, but for example, in our fitness channel, we get feedback and things like that. On the Facebook, I see a lot of stuff on different groups that I participate with, and like I'm a member of. And I'm just noticing that sometimes people have put a post, or put a comment, and then people chew their head off on there, and I get it. Everybody's got an opinion, and obviously everybody there a dime a dozen, and we all are have the right to have our opinion, have the right to express ourselves, and it's a free speech, and for the most part around the world, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes we comment or we state something without knowing all the facts. One, two, we do that intentionally, where we want to kind of like send a message, or kind of like disorientate someone, and basically give them a little bit of a spin, and or even just put a mark in there where these people can get a little bit of uncomfortable, whatever the reasons may be. I'm not going to focus on the negative aspect of it, but again, I want to keep it positive. And the reason, again, I chose this is just to bring it up, to highlight this, and give some pointers to it. This is how I deal with it. First of all, if you are at home and you have guests, right? And or if you go as a guest to somebody's home, you respect their home, right? And if you are at home and someone comes to you, you expect them to respect your home, and that's one. Two, if we are in society, we have family members, friends, etc., etc., co-workers, colleagues, but we choose, who our circles are. Each of us have their circles. Each of us has, their friends, their acquaintances, and so on and so forth. But, we certainly do not hang out with people that we don't see eye to eye with. We certainly don't hang out, or have friends that we don't, get along with. We certainly will not, allow someone that we don't know to actually, insult us or any of that nature. That's in the personal life, right? So how is that any different from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any of those channels? Today we live more in actual cyberspace, that is in the social media, than we do sometimes even, especially in the last few months with COVID-19. We've been home and we've been pretty much connecting to the world via mediums or and venues and platforms that are basically cyber and digital. And so the world that we live in now, it's like a cyber world. It's a digital world as opposed to a real world, because we don't connect as much out in the community the way we did and socialize at bars, restaurants, gyms, and so on and so forth. A lot of that stuff is still restricted. But this is not just in the last 6 months. It's always been happening. I mean, cyberbullying, which is a big deal, in schools, has been in effect in a while, and our rules and regulations and things like that, and I actually just posted some education on that piece, just to share with people what it means to cyberbully, and and what the effects and the impact and all the different regulations that may apply to it. Again, I'm not talking about cyberbullying today specifically, but the fact is, we live in the cyberspace. We socialize in the cyberspace, and therefore we actually have acquaintances and friends. Now, in real life, we have a limited amount of friends that we encounter, that we interact with on our lifespan. In Facebook and social media, such as Instagram, Twitter, and all these, there's everybody. And obviously, we can pick our friends and groups that we join, and so on and so forth, and we do that. And within our circles, we choose the people that we have at least, similar vision, similar, thoughts, and similar, attributes. And of course, some people actually go on Facebook and all these social medias and YouTube to actually express things such as, political opinion, religious opinion, things like that. I'm personally not one of those, and I do not recommend people to actually discuss those things on the Facebook, but everybody's free to do whatever they want. There are groups actually online that do these things and talk about these things. There are people out going against people because of their political views and which party they belong to. I am totally out of that person in the personal life, and in my channel, or my channels rather, the fit as well as the health. We do not have, our purpose is very simple. Our mission on the radio, the channel, and the fitness channel are simple. Educate, enlighten, inspire, motivate. So we try to keep it positive. We try to keep it, just, solid information that we can give. Now, we try also to bring information that is not my opinion. It's information that is in an article or something that's a research that is actually out there with some of the agencies out there that are big in a particular topic, whether it's diabetes, whether it's, Parkinson's disease, whatever it is. So we're bringing with the source. So this way, it's not like, John said, Hurricane H said, it's actually what's out there. And if we say it, we don't say it just because we like to talk about it. We say it because we try to convey it and bring it to the people. Because again, the reason we started this particular channel was because there is no health channel out there. And so there's health education, there's health stuff all over. We try to just bring it to you guys in a visual and audio format. But this is not about the channel or me or our mission, but it's really about the general concept. Also, when, and as I'll speak to it as a personal experience, this is a venture. This is a something that I personally took, to fruition and made it, happen for me. It was an idea that I took, from, conception, like literally just an idea to conception to execution, and we are live, for a few months now. And many people actually do similar things on Facebook and YouTube. So they have their YouTube channels. Some of them actually are using YouTube as a business. Some of them actually are using Facebook as a business opportunity. They're actually selling products on Facebook. They are selling services on Facebook, and some good and some bad. And I'm not talking about the bad ones. But because you can find anything on social media that is an extreme to the end. Despite all the rules and all the restrictions that may be, you'll be surprised what you can see on Facebook in some sites, or as well in YouTube. And it's not because of the platforms themselves; it's just individuals that are putting content that may be acceptable or not acceptable. That's remains to define based on each one. But again, what my message is today is really, if we are, if the people are out there doing these things, whether to earn a living or to share information or basically just for fun, that's all good. And as I always say, this is a channel. YouTube is a channel. Facebook is also a channel or a station, depending how you look at it. And what do we do in life? Do we actually go live on CNN, talk to any of the anchors and just tell them, how we feel about what they said and when they're live? No. Do we actually send them an email? How many of us have sent an email to CNN say we don't agree with you, or with Fox News or with any other, the Weather Channel or Discovery Channel? You can send, comments and stuff. Now, obviously, it gets filtered, edited, and some of it doesn't even make it to anyone to read. It just gets, scrapped out and it's out. Delete. So conceptually, including in our world of YouTube, Facebook, social media, these are channels. And anyone that does not feel or doesn't agree with the content or the delivery of the message or the human that is behind, that camera or on the audio, that's okay. You don't have to like anyone. You don't have to actually agree with them. You don't have to support them. Nobody's asking, for that. I mean, there are millions of people that are on these channels, and there is, a flavor for everyone out there. There is a customer, as we say in sales, for everyone, and there's a program for every customer. So technically, it's okay. You don't like it, you tune it out. Basically switch channels. If you're on XM radio, you have like a series of actually channels and stations. All you got to do is switch, click, and you go to the next one. You don't like what you hear, click, and you go to the next one. You don't ever have to go back. And they will not miss you on that call, and you're not going to bother them or bother yourself. If there is a comment that you don't like, or you see something that you're not agreeing with, that's okay. We love that opinion. I mean, personally, I don't mind the opinion, but it has to be positive criticism, not constructive. It does not have to be just your comment because you feel like it. Now, here's the thing. Freedom of speech, great. We all have it. We all support it. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if some of us know this, out here, but you're probably gonna maybe shocking to you that anyone that is on social media doing live feed or doing some sort of a programming, okay, falls under new media journalism, which is a whole different idea of journalism. So this is not your traditional. So it is you can be part of an actual journalist pool, and so there is the freedom of opinion and giving information and sharing that. So we believe in the same thing. So freedom of speech is great, and we need to highlight the truth, as we must say. But a lot of these programs and these people are doing nothing. They're just selling their products online or providing a service that sometimes they're not charging for, but then someone goes into their feed and make a comment that's a negative comment. Not giving them, maybe you should have done this way or the other way, give them tweaks and maybe good advice that they can actually use and then produce something better. They'd rather give something that is completely just, absurd and just in the face, and you just to put there. And they wouldn't even actually comment more. They just throw in there, and just to bug you. And I've seen a lot of people debating on this topic, on Facebook. Everybody goes out, why, you're attacking me, you're attacking this, you're attacking that, and it's kind of like, negative. One, two, why? Again, we do not accept people in our circles that may do that. No one. I'm not going to hang out with someone that's going to start, cursing me or insulting me. None of you guys watching this or listening would accept that. And in Facebook, it's the same thing. In YouTube, the same way. You have a channel. Obviously, you have an audience, and it's public. People can go in, but at the same rate that they can actually make a comment, you can delete and block. Simple, right? So at the end of the day, I don't have to argue. I don't have to debate. I don't have to just. We can agree to disagree. If you actually put a negative comment, I don't have to accept it. I can move on. But if you want to give, constructive criticism, it's welcome. Please, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll give you an example. This is actually appeared to me. So this is a new station, new radio. So it's actually we have an ad that is actually promoting the channel. So someone says irrelevant garbage. So I could have actually given a lot of answers. One of them is like, well, give us some relevant garbage, right? I can say that irrelevant garbage is irrelevant in general, is not good. So irrelevant and garbage, just like a double negative, it doesn't work. So we can debate the philosophies on the comment. But instead of doing that, all I have to say is click delete out. I don't have to actually listen to. Somebody says, well, the spam It's like, you get ads everywhere. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you see ads. On Facebook, you see ads. You on LinkedIn, you see ads. Everywhere you see ads. Ads is part of commercialization of products and goods and services. So at the end of the day, it is not, a negative thing. You don't like an ad, I don't bother, I skip it. I don't like a comment, I can actually give positive, I can add to it, but that's it. But why people have to be subjected? Because the space is allowing it, and because of this, we always have to actually, accept it. It doesn't have to be acceptable. And frankly, people that do this, they have their own, I guess, complexes or problems, whatever there is. It doesn't matter. Okay, but if you go into somebody's home, respect that home. If you go to their channel, if you go to their radio, if you don't like them, don't delete them. Don't befriend, unfriend them. That's all easy. It's simple. You don't have to actually like someone, to stay with someone. If you don't like someone, click off, done. That's it. You never have to hear from them again. Simple. So we don't do it in live. We shouldn't do it in actual cyberspace. And the ramifications are very dangerous, because some people are just starting a business. There's some people are just starting, they're trying to use, these venues. I mean, online selling is a big deal. E-commerce is a big deal. I mean, from the 90s to now, the dot-coms, to now era, it's big. And going forward, we know that stores and businesses are having a difficult time under COVID, and we don't know the future and what the future is going to hold going forward. So guess what? This is the lifespan. This is where we're going to live, at least at 50 or plus % in the near future. So we need to have parameters, and frankly, I mean, there are legislators that hopefully, maybe even if they watch this or they listen, maybe there's room to actually guideline some of these things, to see if there are some rules that can be established to avoid these interruptions or these negative vibes that get sent, in the auspice of freedom of speech and stuff. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody is saying we do not have freedom. You can say all what you want, anytime, anywhere, but not in my house, not in your house, not their house, not in my channel, not in your channel, not in your radio, not stuff. And let's start, just bickering about stuff like that. At the end of the day, everyone is doing something for the purpose of either, lawful gain, and also exchange data, services, information, and products. It's to your benefit if you're watching, you're listening, whatever. And you have choices when you go to a mall. There are so many stores. Do you always go to all the stores? No, you go to the ones you prefer. So you don't go to a store that you have hundreds and thousands of channels online, on TV. If you have a package from, I don't know, from Optimum or Fios or whatever, you pick the channels. You don't watch everything. The online Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney, all these things, YouTube, TV. You have so many, Apple. There's so many options. You get to pick shows, TV shows, documentaries, movies, horror. You have your own feel, you have your own aspirations, you have your own, preferences. Guess what? That's great. But if you're gonna give advice, or if you're gonna get to comment on somebody else's stuff, now you might not agree with me or what I said, that's great. It's okay. We can agree to disagree. You have your opinion, I have mine, and that's okay. So we're not talking religion, we're not talking, politics, and even if we did, we will have different opinions, and that's okay. We can still coexist. Actually, after all, that's the beauty, for example, in the United States, of what we call democracy, is that, we have the ability to actually share our opinion and talk and speak up. That's great. Everyone has to do it. And you know what? If you don't like what I say, just do like I do. Pick up, build your own channel, and do it. If you have a YouTube channel that you don't like, open yours, start yours, and show us what you got. Give us some relevant garbage, as I would comment on that particular, specific the one that came to the station. So, relevant or irrelevant is only a matter of perception of how you see it. It's relevant to some, maybe not relevant to others. Therefore, the audiences, it's not for everyone. It's for a particular audience, and that audience could be, an appeal. We have programs. I see things online that I'm not really subscribing to, so it's not something that attracts me. I'm not going to see them. I'm not going to go there and say, like, what the hell is this? Why are you doing this? You shouldn't have said that. That's it. So frankly, for me personally, if all I'm saying here today is that if you have your own YouTube channel, if you have your Facebook Live, if you are conducting business, first of all, don't get demoralized because someone goes into your site and do this. Also, from the people that are participating into these things and actually, interacting with these businesses and individuals and groups, please, guys, like I said, if you don't like what you hear, tune out. Just switch the channel. You don't have to friend people that you don't like or that you don't agree with. Disengage with them. Stay away from them. We're not blood related. You not owe me money. I don't give you money. So that's kind of like in the personal. No, no one owes anybody anything. Okay, everybody's doing something for their own purposes. Although some of it is actually global, and we want to do it for the purpose of everybody benefiting from. An example again. This station is not, I'm not making money out of it. I have a regular job. This is actually where I try to bring guests and things like that and services and opinions, and it will continue. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. It's okay. You're not paying me. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for favors, but if you want to, get an opportunity to see something valuable, learn something, you watch CNN, you watch the channel, whatever you want. So you have others. You don't have Hurricane, you have John, you have, Sam, you have other folks out there that you can, Don Lennon, I don't know who you are, Hannity, whatever show you want to watch, Saturday Night Live, you watch it. It's on you. You like it, you don't like it, that's okay. If you like something, you're going to enjoy it. If you don't like something, you just move on, right? Same thing here. You don't frequent the same place. If you go to a store and the service is not good, a restaurant, you don't like the food, you don't go back there. That's okay. Just stay out, don't comment and stuff. Because here's the thing. If someone has a YouTube channel and stuff, they can literally just, delete the comment. If you're on a Facebook page, I can just block and delete and also remove notification. That's it. There's nothing. There's no penalty on both sides. So understanding that, keep positive, give positive constructive criticism for anyone if you feel that there's something we could do better, or you could show us, live, go in, come onto the show. If you have something, for example, in my show, you want something, let's come, please come in, I'll put a Zoom line. We'll have a good time and we'll have a nice conversation. Let's discuss it. It's okay. But the idea is if you just hide and just put a couple words and just submit them, and this is not about me again, it's about, I've seen this happen, in other places where people are literally getting insulted, live, on stuff, and that's actually bullying, in a different format. Just because it's cyber doesn't mean it doesn't hurt people. It doesn't mean it discourages people from continuing what they're doing. Keep positive, keep people motivated. If you have something positive, say it. If you don't, just stay silent, remain silent. That's all there is, guys. So please, this is the end of this particular, message. I appreciate, the time to listen or watch. If you do, thank you. If you not, well, maybe one day you'll get the same message somewhere else. But at the end of the day, if you listen to this, positive, say something positive, or just don't say anything at all. Just move on, and life goes on. There's so much that we have to deal with on a day-to-day life. People are doing things to actually survive, to actually live, to make money, and to share their experiences. So good luck to those. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this message is as clear as possible, and it shouldn't be offensive to anyone. As a matter of fact, it should be just constructive to everyone. So that being said, Hurricane H here. Goodbye. Bye-bye.